kidding, I'm sorry, I had to. Here's the actual startup. After the first video, I actually got a plethora of messages on Instagram from people asking me to do an overview of the car, basically from the time I bought it to where it's at now to any future plans on it. We bought the car back in September of 2012 in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, while I was stationed over there in the Navy. It was a bone stock GTCS. I'll put a picture of it up here. As you can see, the wheels are absolutely horrendous. The wheel gap is horrible. Like, I don't know what they were thinking from factory back in 2013, but Ford definitely didn't know what they were doing. So I bought the car brand new, like 2 weeks before I went on deployment. So I actually bought the car and then put it into storage for like 10 months and didn't get to see it at all. Throughout the time that I was on deployment, I saved up money and bought mods and had them mailed to my barracks and had them waiting for me when I got back. So as soon as we got back, we pretty much killed the warranty with like 6 miles on the car. The first thing we did was an MGW shifter. Pulled the factory shifter out, saw that it was, you know, held together with zip ties like everyone else figured out in the 11 to 14 models. And, you know, that was it. That was the very first thing that ever got touched on the car. After doing the shifter during that same weekend at the hobby shop that we had on base, I did a Borla attack exhaust because fuck it, I wanted to be loud as hell. We did an off-road X-pipe, which in Hawaii was actually a horrible idea considering we had to pass emissions, so you had to get a little bit of wiggle room there. As well as a Steeda 101mm cold air intake and a Bama tune. Yes, we started out with Bama. After driving around with the car like that for like 2 to 3 months or so, we started getting into a little bit more. We changed the stance on the car. I bought a set of Steeda shocks and struts with Ibach Sportline springs off of a guy on Facebook for like 300 bucks, shipping and all. It was great. So we got those sent out, bought a BMR Panhard rod and an adjustable upper control arm from them, and lowered the car and ran it on that stance for damn near 2 years with the stock wheels and everything. I went through that whole phase of plasti dip and shit too. I'll show you. We plasti dipped the GTCS wheels just to see if we could make them look, you know, any shittier than they already did. Then we attempted to make them like gunmetal, and they ended up the color of the car, and it was fucking horrendous. If I can find a picture of that, I'll put it in here too. It looked really, really bad. The car started off though as a GTCS, and slowly over time we've gotten rid of a little bit of it. We still have the spoiler. The hood got repainted due to the corrosion galvanization bullshit that Ford has go on with all of their hoods. That was repainted, and I haven't put the decals back on that yet because I don't feel like paying $400 for decals. We kept the car in that state for probably 2.5 years until I left Hawaii and got back over here stateside. As soon as I got back over here stateside, we finished up the quote-unquote full bolt-ons. I ended up doing a set of Pipes long tube headers with their off-road X-pipe, and we got a set of TSW Nuremberg, I believe they're called. Forgive me if I pronounce the name fucking wrong, I have no idea how. Wheels, and threw on a set of Le Mans stripes, black, gloss black, and that was on the car for about 1.5 years or so. We took it out to NMRA 2015, I think it was, and we put it on the dyno out there. At this point, we had switched to Lund for tuning. I no longer had Bama. I think I had Bama for like the first 2 years while the car was in Hawaii, and then once I put long tubes on, it was around that time where everyone was like, yo, by the way, Bama sucks ass, you need to get someone else. Got a Lund tune. We put it on the dyno out at NMRA. And I think it made 420 wheel with like 402 foot-pounds of torque, which for a bolt-on car wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't where we wanted it to be. So I ended up picking up a Nitrous Express plate kit, and we threw the car on 150 shot for a little while, about 2 months or so. Unfortunately, we never did any dynos on it. It was all remote tuned by Lund. I absolutely loved it. It was great. Nitrous is a very, very, very fun power adder. I'd actually say that if you put a big enough shot on it, it's more fun than turbos is. The instantaneous power is absolutely insane. You can't beat the feeling of 200 foot-pounds of torque coming on immediately. But filling up the bottle sucks ass. I had two 10-pound bottles, and I didn't even use it that often. I was going to school every day, so, I mean, yeah, you go out on the weekends and have a little bit of fun, or hit the track or whatever, and spray here and there, but for the most part, I didn't really use it that often, and I found myself filling up the bottles every week. And $40 a bottle every week is another fucking tank of gas. So after 2 months of using it, I think I was, you know, another couple $100 into just refilling the nitrous bottles, and I knew that that was not the way I wanted to stay. Not only that, but I just wanted a little bit more power because, you know, you can never have enough. So back in, let's see here, November of, I'm gonna say 2015, I talked with Terry Reeves at Beefcake Racing during their Black Friday sales, and sat down with him and kind of did a little bit of an overview of what was done to the car right now and where I wanted the car to be, and he recommended the On3 Turbo Kit. I know everybody talks shit about On3, everybody does. It's the worst kit in the world, it's Chinese junk, you should buy a Helion, you should buy an Armageddon. What the fuck are you doing? You're gonna blow up your car with Chinese turbos. Everyone has their opinion on it. From what I've learned, back when they first started making kits, yeah, they sucked ass. They were fucking horrible. They fit like shit, they had back pressure issues, people were blowing shit up constantly, losing turbos left and right, like, it's fucking horrible. But yes, I run an On3 turbo kit. The car has currently 74,000 miles on it, and the turbo kit's been on since 19,000, so that's, what, 55,000 fucking miles on the turbo kit. It still has the turbos that came with it. It still has the stock intercooler piping, stock everything. It is a off-the-shelf On3 60mm turbo kit. I also picked up from Terry a 4 Innovations Stage 2 fuel system. It's got dual 465 wah-wah pumps. It runs E85. It's capable of, let's see, with stock fuel rails, they tell me 850 to 900. With the 4 Innovations fuel rails, it should be good for 11 to 1200 wheel horsepower, which is where the turbos max out as well. So the whole kit works together really well. We got a McLeod RST clutch and light and steel flywheel as well at the same time. That was also about the time that George and MGW had been revising the shifter, and he came out with the compact race spec shifter. So I had to jump on that train. We got a compact race spec shifter thrown in. And around that time, we also picked up the Boss intake and threw it on there. So we've got the Boss intake, the On3 Turbo Kit, the 4 Innovations fuel system, the MGW race spec shifter, Shaftmaster drive shaft. But we put the twins on it, and we drove it around on 6 PSI at 93 for a little while. We had it tuned by someone, and I had a couple of issues with the car here and there. I had issues with it overheating. It wasn't running optimally. And that's when Jordan over at Jordan Performance and Racing got in contact with me. We pulled the car over there. We swapped out spark plugs from NGKs to Brisks. We put the car on E85 at that point in time, because yes, I'd had the fuel system for E85 for a while, but I was dailying the car. So, I mean, I was driving probably 110, 120 miles a day in between school and work and everything else, and putting that on E85, I'd be filling up once a day, and it just wasn't worth it. So, at that point in time, we finally put it on E85 and strapped it down to the dyno. shop, and we put her on 9 psi. And on 9 psi on E85, it makes 725 to the tire, about 700 foot-pounds of torque. And that's about as far as we've pushed her right now. We've had the boost turned up here and there. When we went over to Texas, we found E94 at a Stripes gas station. So I posted about it on Facebook, and literally the next, this shows you the kind of tuner that Justin is. Literally the next morning, I woke up and had an email, and it was from Justin, and he had seen my post about finding E94, and he went, hey bro, by the way, I saw that you found E94, I adjusted the tune a little bit, I gave you a little bit more timing, crank the boost up, and go out and kick some ass. So I didn't even have to fucking ask him. Like, literally, the next morning, I just had this kick-ass tune to re-upload, to give myself a little bit more power to actually be able to play with people in Texas. Everyone always says that they're gonna finish their build, or they're gonna finish their car. You're never fucking done, dude. If you say that you finished your build, or you finished your car, then you're either lying to yourself, or you're not really a car guy. Because if you have become happy with where it's at, you're bored, and you need to sell it and buy something else. It's just that simple. We need to work towards oil pump gears. Those need to be our next thing. After oil pump gears, it has to be the transmission, without a doubt. I really want to do a TR6060 swap into it, and then at that point it just kind of comes down to motor. I mean, right now we're set on everything else. We've got strange front struts with Viking shocks. We've got a full BMR suspension, all rod end and spherical. I've got the BMR K-member, A-arms, radiator support. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We've pulled as much weight from the car as we possibly can, with leaving it full interior, because that's what I want. I don't want a stripped out race car. I daily the car. I want to be able to go to the drag strip, run a 9, and then fucking throw everyone else in the back seat and go out and get drinks afterwards. And I always want to think about getting a project car, but I'm never done with this one, ever. But basically, that's where we sit now. We started out as a... car, like everybody else, 6 miles on it. Void the warranty right away, because fuck it, who needs a warranty? Went to the full bolt-ons, had an alright time, went to the spray, had a better time, and it just wasn't enough. And so, you know, that's where we sit now. We've got the On 3 turbos on here. I've had them for, like I said, 55,000 miles, and I absolutely fucking love it. I will not change the setup. It will not go supercharger. It will not go spray. It won't go single. It won't go... I love the twins. I do. I love them. The only things that we have planned now are oil pump gears and crank sprocket. Then we will move into the transmission, and after the transmission, if it comes down to it and we're able to, I would love to start building the motor, just like anyone else would. But at this point in time, it's not in the car. So about a month and a half ago, you guys probably saw, we got a set of HRE FF01 wheels. I traded a dude in Tennessee, Chris Thompson. I'll put his Instagram name, you know, down here below. I traded him a set of Velgens that I had bought off of Josh Baker, who the vast majority of you probably already know is the Project Honey Badger. He's got the badass yellow S550 that he just did Armageddon twins on. I traded the wheels that I purchased off of Josh for these set of HREs, and amazingly enough, it was actually extremely mixed reviews on what everybody thought on them. I got a lot of hate over them. A lot of people apparently really loved the Velgens, and then I got a lot of people that said, damn dude, it looks awesome, those wheels really make the car pop, and that's why I did it. I love the Velgens. I have nothing wrong with Velgens at all. I've got nothing bad to say about Scott. His customer service is fucking amazing. The wheels are amazing, they look amazing, they performed amazing, but they were the same color as the car. And when it came down to it, I didn't like that you looked at the car and it just sat there. It kind of blended in with everything else around it. And because of that, I traded for the HREs. The HREs in the Hyper Silver pop. You look over at the car and the first thing that catches your eye is the wheels. And a lot of people have an issue with that, actually. A lot of people don't like that the wheels stand out almost more than the car does now, because it being its sterling gray metallic color, it's really like a, I mean, it's not a dull color, but you get it under overcast or anything, and it's definitely not the brightest. Like, I can't take pictures like people with red cars and black cars and blue cars can, because, like, what the fuck am I gonna do with gray? And I actually hated the car color for the first couple of months I owned it. But yeah, we traded the wheels out just so that, like, you could give it a little something extra so that you could bring the car to life. And I really think it did that. I really, really, really love the wheels. Yeah, just time for a change. And, like, plus, I mean, come on, dude, they're HREs. Like, seriously? I don't know how people can hate on HREs. So over my time on Instagram, I've had a couple of companies contact me to help them promote a product or bring a product to further light, or, you know, pretty much just get the word out there about something new that they're doing. And this one didn't happen through Instagram, but you guys saw a while back my headlights changed drastically. We got contacted by Matt Meredith over at Bullseye Retros, and Matt wanted to do a set of 13 to 14 headlights. And so we pulled them off the car and stole a set from a friend of mine because, you know, I daily it. Stole a set from him, installed them on the car, and sent mine off to Matt in Texas. When we sent them off to Matt, I pretty much gave him full reign to do whatever the fuck he wanted with them. I just told him I wanted some badass headlights to come back. He painted the housings gloss black, and then added a small, tiny bit of the original factory color of the car so that it popped under light. At the same time, he installed a set of Diode Dynamics Angel Eyes, as well as their DRL RGBW running lights. He installed all of that, got them sent back to me, and then the added little surprise of the twin turbos engraved in the housings, in the lenses, when they came back. And that's pretty much it. I figure you guys are bored as fuck now if you actually made it through this whole thing, because all it's been is me talking. However, let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know if the audio improved at all over the last one, because I know last time people were telling me their eardrums were fucking blowing out because of how shitty the GoPro sound was when I had the windows down. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you want to see next, what you want to see us do, if you want to see us go anywhere or do anything, or what you'd be actually interested in seeing me do. If you want me to keep this like a purely car-related channel, or if you're interested in the other random shit that happens throughout life, or if you want to see photography from when I go out on shoots, or like what exactly you guys want to see, because that's the entire point of this channel, is to provide you with something to watch. So if you enjoy it, let me know. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. It's a big help, regardless of what anyone else thinks. It is another marketing tool that gets your name out there and allows other people to see you. So that stupid little click follow button, it's a big deal. It's the same thing as the subscriber button. You click the subscribe button, and it allows us to provide you with better content, because we know that people are actually interested. If you don't follow, if you don't subscribe, but you watch all the videos, we don't know. Like, we have no fucking clue that you actually like our shit. And so, like, we don't know if we need to put out more like that, or if we need to change up what we're doing, or like what exactly needs to happen. So follow me on Instagram, subscribe, like the video, and let me know what you want to see happen down the road.